Hi everyone, and welcome to my first video for Bayonetta 1 on the Xbox 360. Let's check it out. Okay, so last week I played the Bayonetta 2 demo on the Wii U and absolutely loved it. It's one of the best games on the system, and I haven't even played the full version yet, but I can already say that without a doubt I think it's going to be one of the best games this year, and I'm really looking forward to it. It comes out this Friday, and through the magic of Amazon Prime, I should have it on Friday. So I'm really looking forward to playing that. And in the meantime, I'm hoping to get through the first game on the 360. I know that Bayonetta 2 comes with the first game, but in the interest of, getting through the game and having that game or this game done before I play the second one, I wanted to do that. And I also wanted to play it now so that I could compare any changes that Platinum made to Bayonetta 1 on the Wii U to this version on the 360. And I had heard that the 360 version of Bayonetta 1 was superior to the PS3, so that's the one I'm playing. And so far, I've only gotten through the first few verses, I guess. It's really cool. I could tell that Bayonetta 2 just kind of feels a little better and looks better too. But, for a game, I think this game's already 5 years old, so that's to be expected, and I would hope and expect that Platinum, in conjunction with Nintendo, would make the sequel better in both gameplay and presentation, and it has. It's quite a bit different. The cutscenes in Bayonetta 1 so far, they've been okay. I like the fully animated ones. They also have these cutscenes that they look like film, and they don't really move that much, and they're not very dynamic. So I'm not the biggest fan of those. But the other cinemas are cool. The writing is, I don't know if I expected it to be as bad as it is, but it's pretty bad. The writing is pretty horrible in this game, but that might be part of its appeal, charm, and intent. So as you saw a little earlier in this video, the tutorial is pretty much the same as the one in Bayonetta 2, where you learn your basic punch and kick combos, how to evade, and how to enter witch time by evading at the very last second. So here is the first fight, which follows a very, very lengthy opening cutscene that it's funny. It's pretty indicative of, I think, especially the PS2 era, like that, the PS2 and Dreamcast, and maybe even a little bit of the PlayStation 1 generation, where cutscenes were just insanely long, and I had to do kind of everything in my power to not skip it. But I wanted to watch them all, and I guess try to understand the story and everything. And so here's one of the cutscenes I was talking about, where there's not really much going on. Everything is sort of in like it's been paused, but there are dynamic camera movements and things like that. But they kind of feel low budget, and I'm not a big, like I said, I'm not a big fan of those. One thing I do like about playing on the 360 and to a certain extent the PS3 is achievements, and it's something that Nintendo still has not implemented in their games. And I'm not a trophy or achievement hunter, but it's nice to have them, and it's cool, especially when the game rewards things that are a little off the wall, and it's cool to kind of discover those things on your own. And so that's part of the fun of playing this on the 360 as opposed to the Wii or Wii U. So graphically, I mean, especially you see it in this cutscene, something that's in this game that bothers me from a visual perspective is screen tearing. And it's something that was in the first Uncharted game that came out, I think, the year before this game. And it's something that I really can't stand in games. It's really distracting. I think it was in Gran Turismo 5 as well. I don't know if that ever got fixed, but screen tearing is one of my biggest visual pet peeves in games. Even more so than an inconsistent frame rate. Just screen tearing makes the game that it's in look really unpolished, and seeing it here bums me out. And I don't notice it that much when I'm playing the game because there's just so much going on. But I'm just not liking that. And thankfully, as far as I can tell, in the Wii U version, there wasn't any, and it still runs at a nice, crisp 60 frames per second for the most part. And so does this. The action in this game it looks great, and the gameplay is really fun and very responsive. Controls are really responsive, even though I'm playing this with a wired 360 controller that is kind of on its last leg. It's the controller that I had been using on my PC for a while, for a couple years, and I replaced it with an Xbox One controller, and so now I'm using the wired 360 controller to play this, and I'm noticing that my A and B buttons are slightly unresponsive, so I might have to switch it out, but it hasn't been a detriment yet. And so the other thing I wanted to comment on is, I guess, the big elephant in the room, which is Bayonetta's design and is she over-sexualized, and is this a good representation of women in games? And, I think it's kind of in the eye of the beholder. This scene in particular is interesting because she does some moves that are very suggestive. But at the same time, what I found interesting so far is that none of the other characters in the game, and when I say that I mean the male characters, have not said a single thing about her looks or what she's doing, which I think is really good. I think it would seem offensive if they kept making comments about how she looked, or how they're making her feel, or how she's making them feel. But they don't. They just treat her like any other person, any other badass, and the game is full of badasses. So I think that's an interesting point, and it's something I'm going to be paying attention to, not only in this game but in the sequel, to see, do they bring attention to it? Do the characters in the game bring attention to Bayonetta's looks? So anyway, that's the first chunk of the game, and I'm going to jump into the next chapter today. So thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you in the next video.